Okay, I want to build off what was being discussed on Instagram yesterday here at the Mailtown podcast. Just a little bit of a riff. Don't have a script, don't have much of a firm plan other than just to clarify the story of Rami Davidian. Rami Davidian marketed himself as a farmer from Patish who on October 7th left his home and rescued between 700 and 750 people under heavy gunfire, and also was the sole witness to dozens of mutilated bodies that had been raped, murdered, tied to trees. This is what he told Sheryl Sandberg. Much of this is false. The reason I'm saying this is because I live in the Miami area. Rami Davidian was coming here quite frequently with a friend of mine, Joseph Wax, who at the time believed that Rami was telling the truth about what he's claiming. Rami was not telling the truth. He was, in fact, stealing stories from other people and claiming that they're his own, and also embellishing and putting on a lot of pressure to other people. So I wanted to start from the start that I actually believed Rami at the time. I ran into him on the street and invited him to my home with a family member. He proceeded to tell us that he lost not one, but two cars on October 7th that were decimated by Hamas, including one in the headrest. Now you might ask, how do I have proof? What's the evidence? I didn't know the Hebrew word for headrest. As of now, I still don't know the word. I remember struggling to try to figure it out to translate the story. He said that the state of Israel was not providing him with adequate assistance and that he didn't really have a way of getting around. We helped facilitate him purchasing a new car because he's a hero of Israel. He saved 750 people. That's what he claimed. Now, everything started to unravel when someone pointed out to me that he never lost a car and that he wasn't shot at. So he invented that story in order to help solicit a donation and in order to take advantage of people who wanted to help after October 7th. For those who were held hostage or were having severe PTSD, it's not as easy for them to necessarily go around and ask for assistance. And people in America, abroad, even in Israel, were trying to help. So he went around telling these stories, including one story in which he claimed that there was a woman, I believe her name is Amit, that was standing in a field surrounded by 5 or 6 Hamas terrorists, and that Rami found a water pipe, took the water pipe from the ground, and disarmed 5 or 6 Hamas terrorists that had Kalashnikovs by their sides. So we're supposed to believe that a farmer from Patish took a pipe out of the ground like Superman and disarmed 5 or 6 terrorists. Also, think about it mathematically, driving roughly 20 to 25 minutes each way in a car that fits about 5 people, including the driver, and saving 750 people over the course of about a day and a half. It's completely implausible. Rami went around pressuring people and taking advantage of the fact that people want to help. Generally, people hear about heroes, they hear about survivors, and they want to help. He also took advantage very cynically of the concept of PTSD. He would tell a story that he couldn't smell meat because it reminded him of all the dead bodies that he handled. So in the climate in which people are very sensitive to PTSD, apparently most people forgot to ask, myself included, what did you actually do? It's a very sensitive question, but he's claiming to have PTSD from something that he didn't actually do. It's also important to note that one of the 2 people who really did save a lot of lives, amongst other people, but from Patish, or in the area, there was this guy, Leon, who was killed, and Rami's son-in-law, Oren Laufer, who's a hero. My understanding is that Leon and Oren Laufer actually went into the more dangerous areas, retrieved people, brought them out to the side, and then Rami drove them the last little bit. Now, definitely helpful, but not quite the same story as someone single-handedly doing that. Leon is dead. He can't defend himself. He can't tell his stories because he was killed by Hamas. So Rami took some of these stories and is now repackaging them as his own. It's very sick and twisted. There's a story of Millet, who was just married, Mazel Tov Millet. She was saved by Oren and Leon, brought to the outside, and then Rami brought her the last little bit. So Rami takes that and claims all the credit for himself. This is a problem. It's not honest. People ask, why am I speaking out about this issue right now? Rami stole from me. He entered my house and stole from me. He certainly Genevas das, intellectual dishonesty, told a story that was patently false in order to acquire money and or gifts. It's my obligation to ensure that nobody else falls a victim to his sick, twisted game. The last thing I'd want to hear is that somebody now was equally fooled by him and ended up giving their hard-earned money or resources to a man that is essentially a fraudster. There's nothing worse than stolen valor in the battlefield. I should say, there's nothing worse in the battlefield than stealing valor from those who are true heroes. And what Rami's doing is all of that on a massive scale. So, did he save a few people? I'm led to believe that he did. But a few people is not 750. It's not 500. It's not 400. It's not 200. Rami is cynically using the situation to self-aggrandize. He lit the torch at Independence Day in Israel. The state of Israel gave him an honor based on lies. Rami is a complete fraud. And it's important that nobody else help him and abet him in perpetuating this false narrative. People say, what about the enemies of Israel? What happened on October 7th was sick, twisted, horrific, and absolutely repulsive. Let's tell the truth about what happened. There's no need to lie. There's no need to make up stories. Families were killed in their bed, burned alive. People were beheaded. This is evil, okay? There's no need to exaggerate. There's no need to make up stories of dozens of women tied to trees and then try to sell it so that he's featured in a movie with Sheryl Sandberg, which is then featured in an op-ed by Bret Stephens. It doesn't make any sense. That's why I speak up. It's important that the truth come forward, that honest people are promoted, and that fraudsters amongst us, like Rami Davidian, are stopped so they cannot perpetuate this fraud on other people.